Hey guys, I'm sure you've read the title. Yes, this is a Moemon playthrough. Yes, the Pokemon are now anime girls. I had admittedly been wanting to do a Moemon playthrough for a while, but never found a hack that really caught my eye in the same way that most of the hacks on the channel have. I then learned of Emerald Quetzal, sorry if I horribly mispronounced that, and its recently released Moemon version. This ROM has an insane amount of customization available in it, so I added a little randomizer onto this playthrough, and well, hopefully we're gonna be in for a great time. Our journey begins just like many others in Little Root saving Birch and seeing the randomizer in full effect. Choosing our starter, I decided to go with my favorite of the bunch, Surge Zebstrika. I saved Birch to get my Pokeballs and get ready to add some members to our team. I had planned to do kinda Nuzlocke rules in the sense of whatever Pokemon was my first encounter, that Pokemon would be the one I get, no matter how many tries it took. I wasn't gonna do like first come, first serve. If I fuck up on the route, it's just gone. But with overworld encounters, I didn't really know how to go about doing it, so what I decided to do was generate a random number and wait for that many spawns. Whatever spawned, that's what we were gonna get. So for our first team members, say hi to Miku the Palpitoad and Gio the Marshadow, who I definitely caught on my first try. Battling May, her Unfezzed, Alakazam, and Naked all fall to Gio. Entering the next route, we capture Nini the Nimble. Reaching our father, I take Wally and his level 100 Farfetch, who false swipes twice just to send a message. As we make our way to Rustboro City, we get some more members of the team. Liberty the Duraludon and Yippee the Whooper. I confront the Team Aqua member who's indeed definitely didn't get the memo of what we're doing today, and I enter Rustboro City capturing Glinda the Magnezone. I head off to challenge Roxanne. She opens with the Raikou and I open with Liberty. Seeing a legendary this early on did fill me with a sense of dread because I know what the future holds with me when it comes to legendaries and how strong they will become. Raikou's defense is lowered by Rock Smash from Liberty. I then switched into Miku, hitting a Mud Shot, taking out Raikou. She sends out Galarian Slowbro and I swap to Geo and get a crit Shadow Sneak. Her final Pokemon, Ice Cube, falls to 2 Fire Punches, getting us badge number 1. With Roxanne defeated, we catch Pam the Quillfish. Why the hell did I name her Pam? We save Pico and the Devon Goods and head straight for Dewford Town. Inside Granite Cave, we catch Beta Ray, the Sandy Shocks, meet up with Steven, miss a Radiant Pokemon, which I will explain when I inevitably catch one, hopefully, please, 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 please. Along with missing that Radiant Pokemon, we also messed up on catching a Shiny Onix, but clearly luck is just not on my side. Granted, the Radiant Pokemon was more my fault for speeding up all the time, but you know, potato potato. My Pokemon woes aside, we swap around the team and go and challenge Brawly, whose gym I thought I had down to a science and was prepared for a straight shot to him, only to get caught by a trainer almost immediately. Reaching Brawly, he opens with a loving family of Mousehold. I open with Pam, but almost lose her to Echoed Voice. Switching to Beta Ray Bill, I set up an electric terrain and take out Mousehold with a Spark. His next Pokemon is Wooper. I swap in Geo, taking it out with an Ice Punch. Brawly's final Pokemon is Talonflame. Switching to Surge, we defeat Talonflame with a Shockwave, getting badge 2, and ending day 1. I forgot to record the beginning of day 2, so we start in Slateport where I caught Floofy the Wooloo. Heading up north, I'm stopped by May. She opens with a Yanma and I open with Floofy. Floofy just barely lives in Air Cutter, defeating Yanma. She then sends out Lunala. Switching to Geo, we take it out with a Shadow Sneak. Her Arcudo follows to Surge's Flame Charge. Her Gulpin goes down to a Bulldoze from Beta Ray, and her final Pokemon, Celesteela, nearly takes out Yippee, so I swap to Geo and defeat May with a Fire Punch. Entering Mauville City, we catch Hollow, the Pyukumuku. We then battle Wally and his Ice Horse. After beating Wally, I rank my first Radiant Pokemon, Anemone, the Flabebe. I said I would explain Radiant Pokemon when I got one, thinking they were more like regional variants. Turns out, from what I can tell, they're just a tier above Shiny Pokemon. Still cool, just not what I thought they were. Challenging Watson, he opens with a Walrein and I open with an Anemone, defeating her with a Magical Leaf. He then sends out Zygarde. I keep Anemone in, but she quickly falls to Zygarde's dig. Sending out Geo, I freeze Zygarde and take her out with an Ice Punch. His Riolu falls to Geo as well, and his final Pokemon, Mienshao, falls to Surge, getting us the win. Heading up to Mount Chimney, we catch Scrappy the Riolu, and inside Fiery Path, we add Hors d'oeuvres the Gulpin to our team. And right outside Fall Harbor Town, we catch Bee the Feebas. Heading towards Meteor Falls, we get Ragatha the Tangela, and a shiny Tinglu, Kata. Kicking Team Magma out of Meteor Falls, we battle Maxie atop Mount Chimney. His Great Tusk falls to Ragatha, now evolved to Tangrowth. He then sends out Banette. I switch to Hors d'oeuvres, taking out Banette with a knockoff. His final Pokemon is Arcaludon, who has shown up surprisingly often in this playthrough. With Maxie's defeat, we get another encounter in Astra the Staryu, and with nothing else to do, we head towards Flannery. Flannery opens with Yveltal, and I try to take it out quickly, but I can't, and it sets up multiple double teams, and I almost lose Ragatha. I switch to Kata, but she can't do much initially, so I switch to Hors d'oeuvres, poisoning Yveltal, and switching back to Kata when Hors d'oeuvres goes down. Kata defeats Yveltal, and her next Pokemon is Stantler. Sending out Scrappy, we break through the confusion, defeating Stantler. She then sends out Sandshrew, and not knowing it was going to be Alolan, I send out Astra. It ended up not being that bad, and we defeat Sandshrew and Crobat with Astra, getting badge number 4. Starting our day in Mirage Tower, we catch Rosie the Tinkaton, and then outside Route 111, we get New 13, the Registeel. With these new team members, we head back to Petalburg to challenge our father. He opens it with Rabsca, and I open with Scrappy, but swaps to New 13 after one too many Psybe. Norman swaps out Rabsca for Cranidos, keeping New 13 in. I Metal Claw Cranidos. Terrakion comes out, and I swap to Astra, and living on 1 HP, we take out Terrakion. With Terrakion down, Paris is sent out, and with no real answer, I swap to Rosie and break through multiple spores and eventually defeat Paris. Norman is left with just Rabsca, and we quickly defeat her, getting badge number 5. With Surf unlocked, we get a new member of the team with Elfelt the Clefable, and on Route 119, we catch Tronbon the Trumbeak. Inside the Weather Institute, we defeat Shelly's Trico and Nickit and get rewarded with Silly the Goomy. Heading up, we are stopped by May. She opens with a Staryu against Astra, who is now a Starmie. Astra, with the power of rain, takes out Staryu with the Bubble Beam. Up next is Arrokuda, who quickly falls to Ragatha. Victory Bell takes out Astra, who in hindsight was not the best switch-in. New 13 crits Victory Bell, leading to Infernape, keeping New 13 in. Lorraine weakens all Infernape's attacks, meaning New 13 can come out victorious. Her Plus Hole and Probopass both follow New 13, getting us the win. Entering 4-Tree, we change up the team, adding the new members, and challenge Winona. Tronbon takes out her Aromatisse and her Weezing. When Cryogonal comes out, we switch to New 13 and take it out. Her Zapdos, which just happens to be the Galarian variant, falls to Rosie, and our final Pokemon is a Feebas. Elfelt defeats her with the Dazzling Gleam, getting us the win and ending day 3. We begin with our first catch of the day, Thorn the Grovyle and Suna the Sobble. With these new party members, we head towards Lily Cove and battle May. The battle begins with a 2-cannon versus Tronbon. Tronbon wins the mirror match with a Drill Peck, and May sends out Registeel. Registeel was able to get off multiple curses, taking out Suna and Thorn before falling to New 13. Blacephalon is then sent out, defeating New 13 and falls to Tronbon. Her Wattrel also falls to Tronbon's Fury attack, and after Wattrel is Ting Lu, who only really uses Whirlwind and also goes down to Tronbon. With just a Thwackey left, Silly is able to paralyze Thwackey, then defeat it with a Dragon Breath, getting us the win against May. Outside Mount Pyre, we catch Makoto the Mienfoo, and as we head inside, we catch Saber the Iron Crown. Getting the Magma emblem, we head towards the Magma hideout, catching Sui the Boltund. Reaching Maxi, we defeat Swadloon with Saber, his Axel falls to Leech Seed and Suna, and his foul Pokemon Gothorita falls to New 13. With Groudon awakened, we can head to Mossdeep to challenge Tate and Liza. Before we reach Mossdeep, we catch a shiny Jangmo-O named Cinder. Entering the gym, we actually experience our first true loss, courtesy of Tate and Liza's Articuno. So with our second attempt, we open with Saber and Thorn. Neither really lasts before doing anything, but Thorn does set up a Leech Seed. So with Sui and Makoto and Cinder, we defeat Articuno, Crackalore, Arboliva, and Phantup, getting badge number 7. Kicking Team Magma out of Mossdeep, we get a look at what I assume is Steven's normal team, which is full of Mecha Steel types, and we then head to the Aqua Hideout. Along the way, we catch our Lord and Savior Babu and Moon the Dreepy. And once we finally enter the Aqua Hideout, we caught Ibuki the Ninjask. Reaching Archie, we defeat Clefable with Suna, and the rest of his team falls to Babu. After seeing the state of the world, we catch Chili the Arctozolt and Tripler the Dodrio. And inside Sky Pillar, we catch Newt the Noctowl and save the Hoenn region with Rayquaza. And with nothing else left to do, we go and challenge Juan. He opens with a Mandibuzz, and I open with Newts. Mandibuzz enjoys spamming Whirlwind before finally falling to Chili. His Indeedee takes out Chili and falls to Ibuki. Gulpin is then sent out, and Moon defeats her with Dragon Darts. His Araquanid and Paris fall to Babu, getting us the win and badge number 8. The final day begins inside Victory Road, catching our final encounter, Callie the Scrafty. We are then stopped by Wally asking for a final battle. He opens with Jinx, who falls to Moon's U-turn. I send out Babu to defeat Marshadow, and his Beartick defeats Moon, Tripler, but falls to Chili's Echoed Voice. His Hydrapple tries to avoid damage with Substitute, but still falls to Chili's Pluck. His Magnemite then became a huge problem because my team really didn't have any answers for it and was extremely weak to it, so after almost losing, we were able to get it low enough to be defeated by Newts. His final mon is Manectric. Reviving Moon, we defeat her with Dragon Darts, and with Wally's defeat, we make our way through Victory Road and get ready to challenge the Elite Four. For the Elite Four, I decided to actually make my own team rather than just going in with whatever the most recent captures were, so say hello to the final team. Moon the Dragapult, Geo the Marshadow, Anemone the Florges, Scrappy the Lucario, Beta Ray the Sandy Shocks, Fox, and Floofy the Dubwool. Heading towards the first fight, Sydney opens with a Medicham who falls to Moon's darts. His Arcalodon falls to Geo, and the same can be said for his Meganium and Magnemite. Switching to Beta Ray, we defeat Toxapex and Gimmighoul, getting the first win of the Elite Four. Challenging Phoebe next, she opens with a Araquanid who falls to Phantom Force. Her Latios goes down to Dragon Darts, Geo defeats her Genesect with a Fire Punch, and her Darmanitan with a Drain Punch. And Raichu goes down to an Ice Punch, and you can take a wild guess as to what we do with Gliscor. Up next is Glacia. She opens with Roly-Poly who falls to Moon, Floofy defeats Weavile with a Double Edge, Paladin falls to an Energy Ball from Anemone, Vileplume falls to a Zen Headbutt, and Magnemite appears once again and goes down to an Earthquake this time. Her final Pokemon is Swadloon. I send in Geo, defeating it with a Fire Punch, leaving just Drake. Drake's Tandemaus falls to Moon, and his Lairon actually defeats Moon, so we send out Geo, defeating her with a Drain Punch. Bellybolt falls to a Scorching Sands, and Okidogi takes out Beta Ray with a counter. Scrappy defeats Okidogi, Hatena, and Lairon, leaving just the champion, Wallace. Wallace opens up with a Piplup, and after making him use all of his healing items, we defeat Piplup with Moon's Dragon Darts. Up next is a terrifying Tailo, who falls instantly to a Discharge. His Excadrill defeats Scrappy, so we defeat her with Geo, and Gliscor once again falls to an Ice Punch. Growlithe goes down to a Drain Punch, and his final Pokemon, the deadly, intimidating Machop, goes down to a Moonblast, ending what is probably the easiest Elite Four that a Moemon randomizer could give you. Hey, thank you so much for watching. These were two really fun playthroughs if you also watched the Monster Hunter one. I'm implying you watched the Monster Hunter one. I don't know if you had. You may have just watched this one. This might be your first video. But the next two should be Solar Eclipse and Hollow Woods or Grounds. I can't fully remember its name. But day ones have already been recorded. Just gotta get those scripts done. Bye.